is a member of that House Oversight Committee, Republican Congressman from Tennessee, Tim Burchett. Congressman Burchett, I got to ask you point blank, whose cocaine do you think it was that was found in the West Wing?
I have no clue, but I suspect the Secret Service does. If you've ever been in that entrance, I mean, good gosh, you can't get in the White House. It has, it's got these reverse fans even that will detect if you have any illegal chemicals on you, possibly anthrax, anything else. I mean, to say that they don't know who it is at this point, I think is very ridiculous. And if they don't, then we ought to be replacing some people in the Secret Service, because at this point, there's no way. I mean, they have eye identification. They've got all this secret stuff that you can't get in there without it. And it's just bogus. I don't know if it's Hunter's or whose. That's for them to determine. But I can tell you that the reason they're delaying is probably to get their story straight and how they're going to replay it to the American people.
Okay, you think there's a delay. I understand there's been reporting that the Secret Service is going to release the results of this investigation as early as this coming Monday.
Yeah, I agree. I think there is a delay, and they're trying to get their story together. And that's the bottom line.
Listen, Congressman, as a member of the press, I was at the White House every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, from dawn to dusk, working in the press room. And I know that a number of members of Congress at the time could bring in family and friends on the weekends for a West Wing tour. Staff of the White House brings in their family and friends for West Wing tours. And this all happens on the weekends. I mean, what is the possibility, in your view, that this was left there let's assume it was left there inadvertently, but it could have been a guest to the White House. Do you allow for that possibility?
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be a high-level guess for someone to be in those areas. To think you're in the most secure room in this most secure building in the world, and you're just walking in there with a bag of cocaine, to me is clearly, obviously, there's someone with some pretty high credentials that has been involved with this. The whole thing is just preposterous. Just to think that they don't know who it is, they can't reverse off the rolls. You can't go in there without having your Social Security number. It's just, you don't just walk in off the street and go into the White House. It's not like in the 40s or something, or Mr. Smith goes to Washington kind of deal. Yeah. It is, you have to be invited. They have to know you're coming in, and obviously they know who's been in there, and they can narrow it down to that number. But this president has had a history of not releasing who has been visiting, as you well know, being a member of the media. That has always been a stall tactic by this White House.
Right. They have promised to release the visitor logs. They have, for the most part. The previous administration did not. But let me ask you something. The National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan, we heard from him at the White House today. He says this isn't a national security threat at this point. He doesn't believe it is. Are you buying that?
No, I do not. What if it was a viral toxin? What if it was, U-235? I don't know, anthrax, anything. What if it was a biological entity that had a delay on the emergent? What if it could, become toxic in a few days, kind of thing? I don't buy that at all. Those people are making excuses, as they have. I mean, this is the same intelligence community basically that said that Hunter Biden's laptop was a Russian hoax. So, I don't buy anything that's coming out of this White House or any shape, form, or fashion. And the lady who's the press lady, I mean, she just checks a box for who she is and how she got that position. She's a walking, talking Saturday Night Live skit. And as we'd say down south, bless her heart.